it's another Haller video. So, there you go. What else are we going to talk about anyway? But it was definitely time to do another one anyway, because I'm very, very excited. I do like a moan. It has to be said. I moan about the stadium. I moan about a lot of the stuff that the owners have done. In fact, I actually moaned about the previous owners and the owners before that. I moaned about quite a lot of players as well. Some of them that we've already got. Moaned about Arnautovic quite a lot. Moaned about Yarmolenko. I think I'm going to moan about Yarmolenko a little bit. And not in this video, don't worry. I certainly moaned about Maxi Gomez. Didn't want him. Not only didn't want him, never thought he was coming anyway, as you will all know if you watch these videos. I've been saying it for a long time. Didn't ever fancy that he was coming in. But sometimes you've got to stop moaning and allow yourself to be excited. And this is jaw-droppingly brilliant. Absolutely fantastic. This would be the best news ever. Sorry, I've just seen someone. Hi, love, all right. There you go. That's what anyway, where was I? Fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic news. This guy is... I think he's as good as anyone. I really do. I was first alerted to this guy, actually tail end of last year, tail end of 2018. But people on the forum been talking about him since 2017. I looked at him, I watched a few videos on him, and then started becoming really, really impressed with his all-round game, which was fantastic. Now, as you know, he played in the Frankfurt team, which played Chelsea in the final of the Europa Cup. So once I was made aware of him, he was actually playing for a team we were featuring quite a lot on the telly. So didn't just get to watch him on YouTube videos, got to watch him during big games, proper games as well. Their front three was excellent as well. Jovic, Bebic, Rebic, Bebic, Bobic, who cares? Anyway, Haller was playing. And he's a fantastic player. At the moment, Man United are trying to offload Lukaku. And apparently, Man United have been rumoured to be interested in Haller. And I wouldn't blame them. Because I think he's better than Lukaku. I really do. Might not be quite as quick. Might not be quite as strong, but he's quick enough and he's strong enough. He's very, very strong. But actually the rest of his game is finishing better, heading better, ball control better, two-footed better. Yeah, absolutely. Passing, bringing others into the game. Yeah, he ticks all the boxes. This is a guy I wouldn't have been surprised for Man United to sign. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if they want to offload Lukaku so as they can buy Haller. So it's important that we get in there and we get in there early. And I think we have done. And I'm just hoping, because he's coming for a medical, apparently he's over for a medical today. I'm just hoping that we get it wrapped up before the others come in. But I do think that we've played a bit of a blinder here. As I say, I never thought there was any truth in this Maxi Gomez stuff. Maxi Gomez isn't a player that suits Pellegrini's style. I'm not saying this in hindsight, saying it now and trying to be clever after the event. I've said this consistently. I never thought we were really bidding for him. And do you know what? We didn't actually bid for him, apart from once in the last 14 days. Now, considering we've been linked with a player for months, maybe even a year, I don't know. People have to go back and have a look. You would think we would have registered our interest before then. Well, of course, had we been interested, I'm pretty sure we would have done. Now, I have it on very, very good authority indeed that the only bid that we put in was, I think it was maybe about 10 days ago, between 14 and 10 days ago. And the bid was for the full release clause, which was 50 million euros. But it was offered to be spread over 7 years. Now that's what you might call in layman's terms an offer you have to refuse. I mean, you've seen these sort of things in other types of business. You make the offer knowing full well that the offer is going to be refused. Well, why would you do that? I mean, Sullivan's not silly. You don't get that much money by being stupid. He knows full well that actually the full 50 million euros had to be paid to La Liga to activate the player's release clause. He knew that. That was the only way it was going to happen. So why make this ridiculous offer spread over 7 years? Well, because he knows it's going to be turned down. But why would he do that? Well, as I say, I think he's just created a smoke screen. I think there was no interest whatsoever in Gomez at all. He made an offer he was never going to have to pay up on. And all the while, I think we've been lining up this bid. It never made any sense to begin with. Haller's so much better. And I've said on Cups of Tea, I've said on other videos, why are we bidding for inferior players when there are superior players available? Well, the answer to my question was that we weren't bidding for them, and actually we were in for the superior players. Gio often asked a couple of times, or he suggested that he wished we were scouting the Bundesliga more. Well, we were, it seems. And what it does, I tell you what, it gives me such massive confidence in the scouting, in how everything's been overhauled. The fact that actually there's players in Spain that we're looking at, as you can see with Fornals. There's players in the Bundesliga that we're looking at, and yet we can still go and, whether you think he's a good player or not, we can still go and pluck a free transfer like Ryan Fredericks from Fulham or Jack Wilshere from Arsenal. Up to you whether you think they've been successful signings, but you know, clearly we're looking at all markets, in all markets. I guess Yarmolenko coming in as well last season is evidence enough that we were looking at the German market as well. I think we got our fingers in every pie. That's a funny old saying. Anyway, we've got our fingers in many pies, is what I'm saying. Anyway, earlier on, a couple of days ago, it was the rumours, well, not the rumours, the news was going around that Pellegrini and Huselos had gone to China. And there was a lot of worry, a lot of panic that actually we wouldn't get this deal closed. Namely because Huselos was in China. Everybody was saying, how on earth are we going to close any deals with him over there? Well, as far as I understand it, Huselos is not the closer of deals. He hasn't actually done any of them. Even the Fornals one, he didn't do. It's all been Sullivan closes the deals. They identify the players and then they just go and get them. I think clearly there's some dialogue goes on between Pellegrini, Huselos and the agents. I think Huselos is instructing the scouts. The identification process, as I say, a little bit of chit-chat. Maybe not directly with the player because that would be tapping up, but certainly the agents. And so I think we register their interest. I think maybe Pellegrini talks to the agents and lets any prospective player know what position they may have in the team, where they'll be deployed. But actually, when it comes down to the financial aspect, Sullivan's closing the deal. And you've got to say, and I say this as someone that has criticised him heavily, if he gets this over the line, he's played a blinder. He's played an absolute blinder. The misdirection over there, the smoke screen, the bid that was never going to be accepted for a player we weren't really interested in. While over here, quietly, the negotiations are going on with Frankfurt for the player that we really want. I wonder if other clubs are going to step in, try and, well, namely Tottenham. That'd be bastards, wouldn't they? It wouldn't be very nice at all. They wonder if other clubs are going to step in. But it might be too late because I think so much of the work has gone under the radar. And this was my point. This is the way we have been doing business recently. We have not been getting linked with players for months and months and months in the way the Gomez deal looked like it might be panning out. That's not how we've done it. We've done it quiet. We've done it secretly. I've spoken to Hugh the other day, who'd just spoken to Terry Wesley. He'd done an interview with Terry Wesley. And Terry Wesley was saying that that Pellegrini does things very, very quietly. You get no information. That's why the in the knows have not really known anything about this. That's why all the big news has been broken by foreign sources every step of the way, because it comes from the selling club. It comes from Frankfurt in this instance. When it was Felipe Anderson, it came from Lazio. It's not coming from us because Pellegrini and Huselos keep their cards close to their chest. Clearly Sullivan knows, but you know what? I think Sullivan's not saying anything anymore. If young Jack and young David know, then they're certainly not telling anyone either. So people just don't know. And the business is being conducted in a way that makes it more likely that a successful negotiation will be completed. So if we get this over the line, I think it's been absolutely blinding. And I tell you what, it would be completely and utterly mouth-watering to see these players, to see Fornals, to see Anderson, to see a fit Wilshere, Lanzini, Declan Rice will be a year better as well. Diop, Balbuena, their partnership has surely got to be better. And to see a team like that loading up the gun for Haller to fire the bullets. Would be brilliant. I don't want to make any bold predictions about where we're going to finish. I don't know, but I tell you what, I've gone from sort of enjoying my summer and enjoying the cricket and all the other sports, which I have been, to me thinking actually I'm really looking forward to the season starting now. I cannot wait to see us. I cannot wait to see the team deployed. I was slightly disappointed in many respects that we've got the Man City game tomorrow, haven't we? And we're not going to see. You know, we're not going to see Fornals there. We're not going to see Haller there. We don't have Haller yet. So we're going to have to wait a little while, which is hard. It's like a bit like Christmas Eve, really, isn't it? But I think when eventually we do unleash that team, be it against Fulham or whether we wait until the first game of the season against Man City, I think it's going to be really, really exciting. These are exciting times for West Ham. And we are, dare I say it, with the 38 million, I think it was, Felipe Anderson last season, and then whatever this may be, 45 million signing of Haller this season. Are we finally starting to see what we were promised, which was basically a higher calibre of player, a bit of next level? Maybe not in the finishing position of last season, but we're certainly looking to attract top players. You know, this is a finalist, a European finalist last year. As I say, this is Olivier Giroud's replacement in the French team. And the only reason he's not a French regular is because the ridiculous array of talent like Mbappe and Griezmann and people like that they have at their disposal. But make no mistake about it, not being the first choice in the French team doesn't mean you're a bad player. This geezer is an excellent player. I think he's going to fit in brilliantly. As a couple of people have pointed out, his injury record is fantastic. And I've got to say as well, we better start calling him Haller. Haller, as Jed pointed out, there's no H. Well, there is, but we don't pronounce it. So it's Sebastien Haller. Haller. That's it. Look, you know, keep your notifications on your phone. Not for me, for the news happening. Fingers crossed. I'm out tonight, and I've got to go and I've got to have my phone switched off as well. So you know, I may well be that the transfer gets announced tonight, and I don't know. I certainly, as soon as I get out of there, I'll be switching my phone on and hoping for the best. And there we go. Anyway, I've been rambling on for 12 odd minutes. Don't really know what else to say. Very, very exciting. Fingers crossed. I mean, it's almost unbelievable. Most excited I've been since we signed Tevez, for sure.